Hello, everyone. This is Devin Thorpe. I'm a Forbes contributor covering social entrepreneurship and impact investing. And today I'm excited to have with us a remarkable special guest from Israel, Eytan Stibbe of Vital Capital. Eytan, thank you very much for joining me this afternoon.
Thank you, Devin. Thank you for your time.
You know, Eytan is one of the world's most significant impact investors with a fund of over $350 million, perhaps the largest impact investment fund in the world. Eytan, I don't know if you know of any larger ones. I do not. So it's really a pleasure to have you here and to visit with us about the kinds of things, the work you're doing in Africa.
Thank you. We are waiting for the 2013 report of GIRS, the Global Impact Investment Rating System, to see where we are among the other impact investment funds. I believe there are around 70 or 80 such funds. Some of them are focused on Sub-Saharan Africa. We are mainly focused on that region.
Yeah. Well, Eytan, you were gracious enough to invite me down to see what you were doing in Angola about a year ago. And so I had the opportunity to spend some time with you there and to see your work on the ground. And you have three main projects in Angola: a medical center, an agribusiness center that supports the Waku-Congo region, and also a variety, I think it was on the order of 40,000 housing units in about 10 or 12 different communities. Really an incredible scale of housing development. I wonder if I realize it's a broad question, but I wonder if you could update us on the status of those projects in Angola.
Yes, I can. We are not limited to a sector. So when we come to look for investments in these regions, we try to cooperate with the local communities, with local governments, and find the sector that is most in need. So in Angola specifically, these three sectors were really a huge need for urban development, for rural development, and obviously healthcare. On the urban development, many people are moving into the cities. That's a trend, international trend, and it's very strong in Africa. African cities don't have the infrastructure to support this movement of population. So we offered the government and discussed with them the concept of building new neighborhoods just by the existing regional cities. So first of all, to offer the population proper living conditions in remote cities, not around the capital, in regional capitals or smaller cities around the country, in order to allow the people to go back to the countryside after 30 years of conflict. The government issued a tender, and we and the Chinese were assigned to do the work. The concept is to develop a completely new neighborhood with international standard planning. Most important in city development are the planning, and when you visited there, you saw that it is very spacious and a lot of attention to public space for recreation, public transportation, underground electricity, water, wastewater treatment, and all the modern facilities, and obviously the housing. We started 2 years ago with a demand for 40,000 units in 6 different provinces on 15 sites, and within 2 years we have succeeded to complete 15,000. 15,000 are being sold to the population now, and we're very proud of this huge speed of construction and providing solutions.
Remarkable, really remarkable. But keep going, keep updating us on the projects there in Angola.
Okay, the rural development is a concept of supporting local farmers, not by buying land and employing local people to work on the land, on the farm, but creating an agro-industrial center in a region and supporting the local farmers or which have each smaller farms of 1 hectare to 3 hectare to become more profitable and productive. So this agro-industrial center will support them with know-how, with animal feed if there are animals there, veterinarian services, with advice, training, and the other side of the production, which means of the business, which is collecting, processing, packaging, marketing, creating a brand. For example, the Wakukungu region, which you just mentioned and you visited with us, has really become a brand for quality products in the milk product sector, cheese, milk, ice cream even, and in the sector of eggs. We have become the largest egg supplier in the country, and we as a business do not produce one egg. It's all supporting the farmers. Each farmer has about 1,000 chickens, so they produce about 1,000 eggs a day, each one. We have become the largest egg producer. This is huge for the farmers. They improve their life by increasing net income per year from around $300, $400, $500 a year to $5,000, $6,000, and even reached some families with $13,000 net a year.
It's just an incredible change in lifestyle for those families, and that's what makes your model so remarkable, I think, in the agribusiness side of things, that you could have had great impact by investing in a modern farming environment and hiring local people, but instead by taking that technology to the community and empowering local farmers, you're distributing tremendous amounts of wealth, relatively speaking, and empowering them to build a thriving community and profitable little family farms. It's really it was remarkable to see, and I'm glad to hear that progress is still being made and that you're continuing to see success with that program.
You touched a very important aspect, that is the community, because the country was divided into war, and today the people do not differentiate between the former rebels and former military and refugees, and they're all living and working in the same economy. We, in all the projects, we also support all social and cultural activities through a fund, a philanthropic fund, supporting local artists in all sectors: storytelling, music, painting, sculptures, ceramics, all types of cultural activities. And another economic sector of this is this production is a replacement of import, because in these economies most of the products are imported. So this really replaces import, improves the local production, and if it's high quality, people prefer that.
Yeah, I think you told me offline a few weeks ago that the egg production from Wakukungu is now, from your operations, is now approaching 10% of the national demand for eggs. Do I have that approximately right?
You have, it's nearly 25% of the local consumption. And we're doing a similar project in Uganda, where in the region where they produce milk, the farmers sell the milk. They bring the milk on the back of a bicycle to a collection center. From there it goes in a truck to Kampala, the capital, and there the products are produced. The farmers are paid very poor. The cow production is very low, 2 liters a day, 3 liters a day. So we already laid the foundation stone for a dairy in the region. It's an investment supported by the local farmers. The objective is to buy the milk at a locally, so they save a lot of cost of transportation, produce the products there, and market not only to Ugandan customers, but even across the border to Rwanda, neighboring Rwanda and Congo.
Before we get too far afield from the Angola story, I want to just finish up the medical center. How is progress moving on the opening the medical center?
The medical center is delayed by about 9 months. The opening is expected in September this year. The delay was caused due to international standards that we had to implement on the operation rooms, air conditioning, and other important features. It will not harm the IRR because the need is there. The people are willing to take local treatment, which does not exist, and those who can afford it go abroad. Others are waiting for such a center to open. The idea is to bring in we have a US company that is going to operate the medical center. It is supported by a loan of the US government through its agency OPIC, about a $10 million loan. The total investment is over 20, nearly 30 million. And we're really enthusiastic to start operations very soon.
Well, we'll really make a difference in Angola. It will certainly be the most advanced medical facility in the country, right?
Yes, it will.
Wow, that's remarkable. Now, your operations now are reaching far beyond Angola. Give us a sense. You mentioned Uganda. Where else are you beginning to make investments, and what are you doing in those other countries in Africa?
We are investing in housing in Ghana, in farming in Tanzania and Uganda. We are negotiating a big national housing project in several countries, including Cameroon, Congo, Brazzaville, Rwanda, and Mozambique. In Mozambique, we hope to start the project still this summer. The need is there. It's like any other African country. It's an urbanization plan, cooperation of the government and local communities. We always involve local communities because the culture is important, the size of the house, the nature of the colors, community life, how they live, how they want to grow their families. All those aspects are very important in the planning. So those are the main efforts we're making now.
Eytan, I wonder if we could just talk for a minute. I know so much of your energy and passion is driven by the opportunity to drive impact, and I've seen that in many ways. I've seen the real impact on the ground in Angola. But it's also my sense that you've been very strategic about this and that you are, for a variety of reasons, getting very good economic returns. I wonder if you would comment a little bit about the economics of impact investing, at least in your experience.
I'll say the most important thing that there's no trade-off. When you impact invest, there's no trade-off between the impact and the return on investment. And I would support strongly the fact that if you invest with impact, paying attention to S&E issues, your returns will be even higher than if you don't. Specifically in these countries, because they want your participation. They need your commitment, obviously investment, but more than that, the know-how, the partnership with locals, participation in all aspects of the project, not only financial, but planning and design and paying attention to details. And when they see that you are committed, they're happy that you're there, they want you to make profit, and they want you to stay there. So the opportunity just grows, and your profitability is definitely not a bad thing.
So really what you're saying is the impact you have, the level of good you do is directly and positively correlated with the returns you have because of the support you get from the government and the local communities. Am I understanding your message correctly?
Perfectly. I'll just give you an example how we go about these concepts. We offer to build a community, if it's a rural development, urban, or any other type of activity, in a remote area according to the need of the government, but then we will bring along or drag along budget from the government to support whatever the government must provide in a city. For example, the asphalt development, the water, electricity, sewage. So those are conditions which we set in as we start the business there. And if the government comply with these conditions, we will invest. If they don't, we will not. And usually what we find is very open-minded ministers and governors of regions that are welcoming and making everything available for you to come and invest and make the profit.
Well, Eytan, it is a real pleasure to have a chance to catch up with you. Our time is up, but I really want to thank you for taking the time all the way from Tel Aviv. I know it's getting late in the day there in the evening, and really wish to thank you for your time today. Can you tell us how people can reach you if they're interested in learning more about your operations or connecting with you to do some business in Africa?
We try to publish everything on our website, Vital Capital Fund. We're trying to be very transparent there, and as we are nearly finishing the first fund, we're committed over 85% of the first fund. We're already starting to distribute the second fund, which would be a little larger than the first one. And we find enthusiasm internationally about investing and finding the platforms to invest in Africa. We see that. We speak to others like Bob Diamond and Ashish that are doing the Atlas Mara banking investment, and there's a lot of enthusiasm about Africa.
Well, fantastic. Again, Eytan, thank you very, very much. I appreciate you being here today.
Thank you.
All righty. Let's do some good.